As always, once again, I do have my good friend. Yes, he is a good pal. And he is probably the one and the only Stockmaster, Mr. Al Connickson, on the show here today. Al, how are you doing today?
Well, after that fantastic intro, how can I not be doing well? I'm doing great. How about you, Josh?
I'm doing really good. I just brightened your day. You're the one and the only Stockmaster of the world. I like that.
You have made my day.
There you go. That's what I'm here to do, is make you happy, but also our listeners happy, too. And helping our listeners.
Let's do that.
Yes, helping our listeners make smart and intelligent investing decisions. So that's what we're going to do here today. We're going to talk about this market this week. It was a phenomenal market to the upside if you were quote unquote long the market. Market has been soaring ever since the beginning of November. Markets have jumped up, especially the S&P 500. Looking at the SPY from 409 all the way to 449, almost 450 as the time here today. And we know how it progressed as the week had finished up, but let's talk about some of the opportunities that we're seeing here. We're coming into potential supply zones. There's also demand zones nearby. So it's now is the best time to prepare for a market that can show some volatility. And that's what I want to do here today. That being said, Al, we had some news this week. I believe it was on Wednesday. The CPI report came out.
Right.
Inflation was cooling in October.
Right.
So that really, there's the quote-unquote pundits out there saying that's why the market soared up. And it's possible, but you know what? It doesn't matter because we want to invest and trade based off of facts, which is supply and demand. What's your take on this great market right now?
Yeah, this was a busy week. We had the CPI, which was pretty much flat, showing that inflation wasn't increasing. And we also had the PPI, which showed for the first time, I think, in a few quarters, that the wholesale prices were coming down a bit. So that really caused, kind of a combination of things that propelled the market, especially, earlier this last week on Tuesday and Wednesday. We had a couple of big days. We've got a lot of earnings that hit the wire this week. Some of the retail companies that reported, there was kind of some mixed reports there.
Yeah, earnings, yeah.
And
Target. See Target on Thursday or Wednesday.
Almost 20% in one day. But, Target's been hit. It's been down under pressure for quite some time. So it's sort of like a spring that had been compressed. And it's not really that surprising that we had a big move up when they had any kind of positive news in their earnings report. Walmart was a little more cautious when they came out with theirs. But anyways, we talk about these things. We talk about the CPI, the PPI. The jobless claims report came out this last Thursday,
yeah.
And the jobless claims were higher. So more people were filing for unemployment. Doesn't that sound like a bad thing?
It sounds like a bad thing.
Yeah, not when you're trying to lower inflation.
Yeah, they was at 231,000.
Yeah, and that means by lowering inflation, one of the things the Fed has to do really is create more unemployment. They have to bring down buying pressure by the public, and that has been a real challenge for them. But I know a lot of people out there are listening saying, well, okay, so what do I do with all this? How do I invest? How do I make my moves based on all these things that are happening? And what we really want to tell you is that here's the secret to success as a trader investor, okay?
Ooh.
Get your pens, get your paper.
Get your pen and paper ready, folks.
This is the secret. It's simply identifying when it's the right time to buy something and when it's the right time to sell something. Identifying that, the right time is more important than what the right investment is, what the company is or what the asset is you're trading.
Our listeners are probably saying, well, how do you do that?
Well, and that's a great question. That kind of leads right into what I'm going to say next.
It's like I have ESP, or some folks like to say ESPN.
I think we've been spending too much time together.
I know.
Well, so the bottom line then, Josh, is what causes price to go up? What causes price to go down? If you're going to be an investor, whether you're a trader, short-term trader, or long-term investor, and you are going to put your money into something, you want that money to go to work for you. You want it to benefit you, which means if you buy something, it needs to go up in value, up in price for you to benefit. If you're selling something, if you're maybe on the short side of the market, which we'll talk about a little bit later, then you need to have the price go down. So what causes price movement? That's the most important thing, and that's fortunately for our students, we have a strategy that is designed to show you that on a price chart. It's the most important thing. A price chart really is like reading a book about something. Everything you need to know about an investment is on a price chart. If you know how to read it, how to find the points on a price chart at which you want to be active. And basically there are points that we find based on what people with large amounts of money, and I'm talking billions and trillions of dollars, when they are investing, when they're buying or selling, they have enough clout, enough power to move the price of something. So if we can just find where they're going to be active, that gives us the opportunity to be active with them.
I like that. And it's all about, I like that word too, clout. It's the big movers of the market is the banks, the institutions. They move the market. So that's what we want to identify, and that's what Al is alluding to, is supply and demand on a price chart. And that can't lie. That's telling you exactly price within a certain amount of time, and that's where we want to identify low risk, high reward, high probability entry points into the market. And that being said, I mean, for those of you that listen to the podcast, make sure to continue that, because we do like that support. But if you go listen to the archives, you were talking about Target, and we had been talking about a demand zone. And this was back from May and June, waiting for it to get down to that demand zone, and it shot right out of that demand zone. Earnings just sped it up. Yeah, and that was a great thing. And, earnings, you mentioned the price went up. It was about 18%, almost 18% on Wednesday. So great move, but it's identifying those potential moves prior to that happens, and you have to have a strategy that's designed to do that. And that's what we do at Trading Academy, is we talk about and we show you physically how to find institutional orders, whether they're buyers or they're sellers, and then how to trade with them, not against them, and then just placing proper capital management around them, so that way you have low risk, high reward, high probability entry points. How you do that is either at or near a turn in price, and that's what we show you in these investing classes that I want to give away some seats to. We have investing classes right here at a local academy. We've got a state-of-the-art facility right off 494 here in Bloomington. And these are classes that we have that we've taught thousands, just like you, are many strategies which are designed to teach you to make smarter investing decisions. So I want to give away some seats for that. You can text in right now. I'm going to give you a couple different ways. Text the word investing to the number 210 right now for 2 seats. When you do that, you'll get a text back and a link to pick your own date. So make sure to pick your own date with that link. If you like to go online, just simply go to investwithota.com, and you can pick your own date there as well. It's the same link, but however you like to consume your content, either go straight to the website, investwithota.com, or simply just text the word investing to the number 210 right now for 2 seats for a physical investing class. Al, coming up next, we got some income strategies, we have some wealth strategies, but I want to talk about, coming up next, how to protect any portfolio that you have. So make sure to stay tuned for that. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. We will be right back.